There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Jobs180.com's 2025 Marketing Me Live with City College of Angeles. And today, we are honored to have speakers from Jobs180.com, Ernst & Young Delivery Services, VXI, and TTEC joining us. So before we commence, we will begin with an opening prayer followed promptly by the singing of our national anthem.
CCA Prayer. Loving Father, we give you thanks for our alma mater, the City College of Angeles, our institution of hope. Bless our college as we continue to be inspired by the values it holds dear. Let us be excellent in all our endeavors as we offer our best to you both in our words and deeds. Let our hearts and minds be continuously molded in your likeness. Let us be resilient as we persevere despite the challenges we encounter as we reach for our dreams. Let us become stewards of the school that you have entrusted to us. Let us embrace one another in a spirit of justice and charity. Help us to stand tall and be true leaders for community development and nation building as we serve you through our brothers and sisters. Amen.
All right. So again, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Ayan. So apologies for that. And I hope you are all geared up for today's event. By the way, my name is Joyce Katakutan Kole, and I am your host from Jobs180.com. And we are live once again via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube channel. And I hope everyone shares the same level of excitement as I do in delving into the knowledge, new knowledge today. So to our esteemed audience, kindly drop your name, your year, and your course in the comment section. And if you have questions, any questions later, feel free to type them in and we will address them after each speaker's presentation. So remember guys that the Q&A portion or the question and answer portion will happen after each speaker's presentation. And please don't forget to tag and share this to your friends, especially those who haven't joined us yet. Mention them in the comment section. Ayan, a reminder guys, and gentle reminder na hindi porket nag-pre-reg, ayan, automatic pasok na sa attendance. Meron pa tayong evaluation later na ipa-flash natin sa dulo ng event which will serve as your final attendance for today. Ayan, so kapag hindi nyo na-catch yung link, ayan, mamaya sa dulo ng ating webinar ay wala kayong attendance for today. Alright? Sige. So to officially start today's session, may we invite the head of Internalization and Linkages Office and Alumni Affairs and Student Placement Office, Mr. JC Manansala, to give us the opening remarks.
Everyone. Jessica Launch once said, be present. I would encourage you with all my heart just to be present. Be present and open to the moment that is unfolding before you because ultimately your life is made of moments. So don't miss them by being lost in the past or anticipating the future. Today is another day to be present. Take this opportunity to gain more as you embark on another journey in your life. Thank you, Jobs 180, for spearheading this career development activity for our fourth year students. Our vision is to prepare students to be career ready. To achieve this vision, we need the assistance of our industry partners so that together we may educate students on the importance of furthering their education and on the vast career opportunities that are open to them. With the expertise of the resource speakers today, they would gain additional knowledge to be ready for their future endeavors. Thank you for inspiring the youth of our community by sharing your expertise. Ultimately, my dear students, life is more than merely our trade and careers. Life is whole and colors, wishes, love, and ambition. We should strive to be better than yesterday, and believe me, we can change our situations and life for the better if we try more. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the program.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir JC, for gracing the event with your insightful opening remarks. And of course, your presence set a positive tone. And of course, your support greatly contributed to this event success. And of course, will ensure participants gain valuable knowledge today. So here's our schedule for today. So we have four topics lined up for today's session. And first, we have the job applications using Resumelink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next is effective business writing by VXI. Third is the new year of work. And last is assertive communication by TTEC. Ayan, so we have great topics lined up for today's session. And as we gear up to hear from our uh, no, no, still speakers. Ayan, so mainit yung panahon, guys. Ayan, so bear with me. So first, let's see those heart reactions if you're pumped up too. Yan. So big shout out to everyone already tuned in into those schoolmates and classmates who haven't joined us yet. Yeah, spread the word and invite them to our webinar. Ayan, katulad po ng nabanggit kanina, ipa-flash po natin ang evaluation link sa dulo ng webinar which will serve as your final attendance. So there's a ton of valuable insights awaiting you guys in this session, and that is crucial for your transition into the professional world of work. So please don't forget to drop your name, your year, and your course and school in the comments below. And as we progress, feel free to shoot in your questions because sabi nga ni Susan Roses, wag mahihiyang magtanong. Okay? So, to our audience, sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together as I introduce our first speaker. So our first speaker will be discussing job applications using Resumelink. So our first speaker has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide. So the managing director of jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, and dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong month pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called Resumelink. By definition is shown. Okay, this is a personalized, it's a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs1. Now the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay, so what do? You go to www.jobs180.com, and that is where you now register. Okay, as you register, you just simply fill information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobsonit.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo, may ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Now, okay, pag taken na, okay, maging ka-ATM ka, balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS. Di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobsonit.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay, do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay, in short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay, so use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay, remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman, di ba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step after you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and your password na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization, di ba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pang mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, dalawang lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, diba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. Diba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa siya lang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito, may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie videos. I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung matiyatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na napanood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka kung paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And, most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes, when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari? Nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes, hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the Resumelink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Kailangan gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the Resumelink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan, member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. O diba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O diba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at doon ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs180.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag ka pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file, diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka, when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, diba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo. Pag-gain creativity mo, ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang naman normal business cards natin. Diba? So depende. So maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, di ba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala. Anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? O, 'di ba? Char-char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? So, check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Ayan, so thank you so much, Sir Kim, for discussing resume link. And to our audience, we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions, everyone, to our audience, feel free to type them in the comment section. All right, so again, to our audience, we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding resume link, ayan, wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Sabi nga ni Susan Roses, i-comment nyo na yan. Okay, sige. So while waiting for questions, Sir Kim, ayan, ako na po muna ang magtatanong. I hope you can hear me loud and
Yes,
clear.
I can hear you loud and clear. Pero baka
Alright.
lang tinurn off ko yung camera kasi baka mahina yung signal.
Yes, sir. Narinig naman po kita. Alright. Sige, sir. So, my first question would be, baka tunog to, sir, paulit-ulit. Pero since we have different audiences every time we have a webinar, the question would be, what are the advantages of creating an online resume, especially resume link, over a traditional paper resume?
So ang maraming differences ang resume link compared to traditional resumes. One of which is yung pag-update mo ng information, you don't have to keep on sending. When you create your resume link, as long as nabigay mo na yung resume link sa mga companies or sa HR, all you need to do is just update it from your end and then they'll be getting na the updated information. Basta nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa mga companies. Now, another thing I think which is big difference if you're using a resume link compared to traditional resume is mas accessible siya, mas secured kasi you can control the settings, easier for you to give, very efficient. So, I think that's the beauty of technology, 'di ba? Kaya nga tayo naga-advance, papunta tayo sa modernization. Syempre, nag-adapt din dapat tayo sa technology. So yan, those are the big difference between a traditional resume compared to a resume link, which is ito na yung makabagong klase. Ayun, I hope na-answer ko, Ma'am Joyce, ang question na yun. Nakamute ka yata, Ma'am Joyce? Na-mute ka yata.
Again, apologies for that, Sir Kim. So, ayan, so as mentioned, thank you so much, Sir Kim. And to our audience, ayan, again, if you have questions, wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask. And sayang naman na we have invited 4 speakers from different industries, guys. And so, ayan, itanong nyo na yan. So, for my next question, Sir Kim, Can a resume link be updated in real time to reflect new job experiences or skills?
Yes, you can update it anytime pag meron kayong mga new acquired skills or meron mga development sa career nyo. If you have any exposure, for example, you attended a seminar or you're able to get new knowledge, new skill for that matter, then you put it there, update nyo na update. Diba? Huwag nyo na hayaan na nandyan lang siya sa memory bank nyo tapos by the time kailangan mo gamitin, hindi mo na maalala. So, mas maganda, as you progress in your career, you continue to update your profile, your information sa resume link, para anytime you need it, you can just use it and give it to the companies. So, yun. Easier. Ganun paraan.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. I see Miss Seiryl, ayan, nag-ready na siya. So for my last question, yan, yung pasok tayong question from Mr. Mergas. Ayan, sorry, Miss Seiryl, excited siya to go open siya ng camera. Does Resume Link have an advantage for those companies who use AI scanning for resumes?
Does the resume link have an advantage for companies using AI?
Scanner. Yes, sir. AI scanner
Scanner?
for resumes. Yes.
I don't see. Teka, I'm trying to connect it because when you create your resume link, okay. Maybe what the person is asking is ginamit mo yung AI tools to compose your information. Halimbawa, pumunta ka sa ChatGPT. Halimbawa lang, o kaya sa DeepSeek, tapos nag-compose ka ng cover letter mo. You seek for AI tools, assistance ng AI tools to make your presentation ng profile, ng information more attractive. Tapos the company will be using their AI as tool to scan kung meron ka bang ginamit na ganong klaseng tawag niya software. For me, I think with the use of ganitong mga AI tools, nowadays, it's really rampant, no? Kahit saan ka naman pumunta, marami naman mga tools eh. As long as you don't falsify your information. I am still in the old school thinking na kung ano yung meron mo, you just be true to yourself. You can use the tools kasi this will aid you to make life easier. Pero wag lang yung nag-iimbento ka ng information. I think you just be genuine, no, with your information. Then you don't have to worry about whatever AI scanner pa meron nung company, 'di ba? Kasi it also helps you to present yourself better in terms of your writing, your grammar, 'di ba? Okay naman eh. You can use it. Yun na akin, that's my opinion. If I'm the HR, I will always look at the applicants yung yung transparency niya, yung totoong information niya. 'Di ba? So, there. At malalaman ko rin naman eh kung halimbawa, yung aplikante, sabihin lang natin, I'll use an extreme example. If the applicant is talagang barok-barok yung English niya, halimbawa lang, 'di ba? So kahit gumamit ka ng AI tools, pag kinausap ka ng HR, hindi ka naman pwede magsabi, sandali lang, 'di ba? Wait lang po. And let me just use an AI to answer for me, 'di ba? Malalaman 'yan eh. Makita naman ng HR 'yan during the interview. So there. Just to answer the question, be true to yourself. You want to use your AI tools to make it look better, to present better yung information. Okay lang as long as you stay true to those information. That's my take on that. Okay? I hope
Thank you
answer
so
ko yun,
much.
Ma'am Joyce.
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. And comment down below, Sir Burgas, kung nakuha namin ng iyong question ng tama and the answer ni Sir Kim ang iyong question. Ayan. But, as much as we would like to ask more questions pa, no, kay Sir Kim, we are time-bound and we have the next speakers ready na backstage. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim, for, again, discussing Resume Link. And to our audience, if you have questions, feel free to message us sa aming Facebook Messenger. Huwag po kayong mahiyang mag-message if you have concerns regarding your resume link. And you may email us at info@chops180.com. Sir Kim, do you have final message to our graduating students?
Wala na akong reminder. Just check out the link that you're seeing that is being scrolled right now. Go explore that link, schools.jobs180.com/CCA. Hanapin nyo dyan. Maraming opportunities po para sa inyo. Pang fresh grad, pang OJT. Even if may trabaho na, you can still explore. Yun lang. Happy job hunting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Kim. All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, so there you have it, guys. Again, so if ever you're interested to know more about jobs180.com, you may visit our website. It's www.jobs180.com. And you may visit yung nag-scroll sa baba ng screen ninyo. Your school career portal link is schools180.com/CCA. All right. So let's move on to our next topic. Our next topic and next speaker will be discussing about effective business writing. So our next presenter is a BA Communication graduate from the University of Mindanao. She was an intern at TV5, Radio 5 Davao, and is currently part of the talent acquisition team of VXI, where at the same time, she writes and designs a curriculum. So the talent acquisition or trainer from VXI, Miss Seiryl Dumagonot. Hi, Miss Seiryl. Good afternoon. And welcome again po sa ating
Hello, good
session.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Napaaga ata ako.
Di ba? We're on time. Ayan. Tapos, if you're ready, ma'am, feel free to share your
Okay.
screen so we can check po.
Okay, sige. Give me a
And to
second.
our audience, again, guys, if you have questions sa ating speakers, sa mga topics po, ayan, lined up for today, feel free to comment your questions sa ating comment section. Yeah. So let me put it up. It's up, ma'am. So if you're ready, I'll leave it to it. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. You have 20 minutes, Ms.
Okay.
Cyril. Good luck po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Joy. So, hello, good afternoon, CCA, City College of Angeles, Pampanga. Good afternoon, everyone, to the faculty and staff as well, and as well as sa ating students then. And I believe our students are graduating students at meron din tayo fresh grads and people with work experience. So, good afternoon, everyone. Again, our topic for today, we are going to talk about effective business writing, the essentials of expressing, I'm so sorry, the essentials of expressing words and ideas to writing. Again, now, once we hear about effective business writing, when we hear about it, we can imagine na parang the discussion would be quite technical, right? But for today, no worries because we will just be discussing, as based on the subtitle that you can see on the screen, we will be just talking about the tips or strategies on how to provide or perform effective business writing. Before anything else, I would just like to share a quick fun fact. Now, I have here over 80% of employees say that communication problems are their biggest frustration at work, and that is according to Grammarly State of Business Communicate and their State of Business Communication report on 2022. Kaya baka magtaka kayo na may yung mga friends natin sa Facebook, baka medyo maingay kasi siguro siguro nga parang na-frustrate na sila sa work because of siguro poor communication sa workplace nila. But yes, this is a fact from Grammarly. Now, this leads us to discussing business writing kasi again, kasi communication is really important sa workplace natin. Even if just we're talking with our colleagues, kahit nakikipag-usap lang tayo, even outside our company or even outside the workplace, it's really important that we know how to communicate with other people. Now, specifically, we have to understand or we have to know how to perform or how to provide effective business writing. But before anything else, let's define what is business writing. Now, business writing here refers to the formal communication style used in professional settings to write documents. And what do you mean by these documents? Now, these documents are siguro familiar na kayo dito, like mga reports, emails, especially sa ating audience na may mga work experience na. We have memos, proposals, and even handbooks. Those ones na pagka uh, nagsa-start ka na mag-work or pagka na-hire ka na, they will give handouts regarding the rules and regulations sa company. Those are business writing pa rin or business documents. We also have business reports, meeting agendas, newsletters, and even press releases. Now, let's go down to, I know na naiintindihan na po natin yung kung ano yung business writing. Again, it usually involves writing about what is happening or communicating. It involves communicating inside a company. This usually occurs, by the way, I just want to clarify, business writing, of course, from the word itself, it usually occurs in a business. Once you start working, sa mga fresh grads natin dyan or graduating students, once we start working, ito yung parang magiging mundo na natin. Ito yung parang magiging mundo na natin once we start working. Now, we will be going to discuss the tone in business writing. I'm so sorry. Now, how can we make sure that our messages have the appropriate tone? I am emphasizing how to use tone in business writing kasi of course once we are going to write a document or to write something, it is really necessary na alam natin kung ano yung tone na gagamitin natin. Because we will be communicating not just with our colleagues, but we will also be communicating with our bosses. And of course, dapat kasi kung ano yung tone natin, it would be applicable sa lahat. What I mean to say is parang dapat ang maiintindihan ng both parties. For example, maiintindihan ng employer, maiintindihan ni colleague mo, or even maiintindihan ng audience from outside the company. Now, before writing, you might want to ask yourself, why am I writing this document? Now, you should take time to consider the purpose of your document. Of course, kasi it is really important na dapat i-determine mo kung paano mo i-express yung message that you wish to convey. Obviously, it is expected pala na your message will reach your audience, your intended audience. You might want the reader to take some actions then in response to your message. So you might want to ask yourself, why am I writing this document? Ano ang reason behind? Before writing something, it is really important that you know why are you writing something, or what is the reason behind of that action, or why are you doing this? And that leads to, who am I writing to and what do I want them to understand? When we write, usually, aside from thinking about this, we are actually, our goal actually revolves to who we are writing to. For example, we have to identify our audience first. For example, gagawa ka ng email, tapos yung email na gagawin mo, dapat para sa coworker mo. But how about, hindi ba ito makikita ng boss mo? Hindi ba ito makikita ng employer mo? So you have to make sure that your tone will be also applicable sa kung ano yung message mo to your coworker and to your employer. Kasi possible talaga na makikita ng employer yung message mo. So make sure to have that respectful tone and formality or professionalism as much as possible sa writing mo. Because the message you wish to express must be written in a way that will effectively reach the reader. So again, hindi lang magiging coworker mo yung makakakita ng message mo or ng document mo, but your employer as well. Are you guys still with me? If you guys are still with me, kindly comment heart or any emojis lang para may engagement tayo kahit hindi ko kayo nakikita. Next, you should ask also before you write on what kind of tone should I use. As what I have said earlier, hindi lang yung mga tao inside the company ang makakakita ng ating writing. But there is a possibility that we have the external audience or the audience outside the company. Makikita. For example, mga press releases. Is it really necessary for us to use highfalutin words once we start writing something, or once we provide press releases? Maiintindihan kaya ng mga tao sa labas kung ano yung ibig kong sabihin? Maiintindihan kaya ng mga tao sa labas kung ano yung kino-convey ko na message? So it is really necessary that you have to be mindful of the tone that you should use once you write something. Kasi Again, meron tayong audience sa labas, and we have to make sure that they also understand what we're trying to say. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, as a writer, you should have, I mean, you should strive for an overall tone that is confident and sincere at the same time, and as much as possible, then use appropriate emphasis and write at in an appropriate level of difficulty lang. Kasi may mga ibang tao na hindi masyado nakakaget sa jargons na ginagamit natin in our sa ating company. So it is really necessary na dapat yung mga simple na mga terms lang, it is not hindi naman ganun ka-importante na dapat medyo malalim yung vocabulary natin when it comes to writing. Kasi what we're really aiming for is to be understood by other people or by the audience that we're trying to talk to. Next is no, oh, we have here how to improve our business writing skills. I know that some of you are already gifted sa ating, siguro magaling na kayo magsulat. It is your way of expressing yourself. May mga, may mga, ano tayo, may mga poetic side tayo. And that's really an advantage, if you really know how to write. Especially siguro pagka siguro may advantage or may disadvantage pagka creative writer ka. But yes, it's really an advantage if you really know how to write. Now, how to improve our business writing skills? When we are asking for, ano tawag dito? When we're asking for tips or, yeah, for tips or strategies, in terms of improving, of course, we have to practice, no? We have to practice writing emails or writing kahit ano lang na pwede mo masulat, but make sure na magagamit mo yan once you really go sa world or sa field mo in the future or in your future career. Of course, you have to practice writing emails or reports. You can also practice writing proposals regularly. And when we say improve, then we have also to seek feedback from peers or mentors. Or for our fresh grads or for our graduating students, you might want to ask your teachers or your professors or even your friends na nasa corpo industry na, you might want to ask them for feedback. And for our working students or yung mga tao na may trabaho na dito sa ating audience, you might also want to seek feedback from your peers or mentors kasi of course they are already experienced, no? So alam na nila kung ano yung pasikot-sikot, especially pagka co-worker mo, alam niyo na kung ano yung pasikot-sikot sa company. And I just want also to emphasize na may iba't ibang format na sinusunod ang bawat organization or company. So it is really important that you seek for help. It is important na mag-ask tayo ng help from our colleagues kasi again, may mga companies na nagpa-follow ng format, yung mga ganun format or ano ba, or standards, okay, when writing. So it is really necessary that you ask help. But I have here specific tips on how to improve our business writing skills. Now, these are the must-know business writing tips from us. First is to understand your audience. As what I have said earlier, na-mention ko sa first part ng ating discussion is to ask yourself before writing, why am I writing this document? And that includes understanding your audience, yung sa second na topic na binigay ko. It is really necessary to understand your audience because once you start writing, you should make sure that you tailor your message to the audience, to their knowledge, if they have the needs and the expectations from you. Especially pagka part ka na ng isang company, it is really important to know or to understand your audience. For example, audience mo, yung boss mo, or si boss, sasendan mo ng document or ng email. So, how should I, why am I writing this document? Or how should I write this document? Again, you can be professional, You can use the professional tone of your writing. You can be more respectful sa writing mo. Next, we have here to plan before writing. May mga talented folks tayo dito kung mga makagaling sa pagsusulat. For example, mga writers kayo, may mga book lovers tayo dito. As you all know, if you are a writer, you usually plan before writing. But there is a way on how to plan before writing. We create an outline to organize our thoughts or to structure our content sa ating document logically. So, for example, in a paragraph, we have the topic sentence as the main idea ng ating paragraph, and we have the body, which includes the supporting sentences ng ating paragraph, and we have the conclusion sa last part for the final sentence or the summary of uh, or the summary of our main idea. Now, pagka you outline a writing, you usually put everything na pumapasok sa utak mo sa isang papel. Now, when we start to write, parang nagiging puzzle na siya. So yeah, basically, no, when we say plan before writing, as much as possible, just organize your thoughts. Just create an outline, organize your content, organize what you want to write, to structure your document before you send it or before you finalize it to send to your audience or to your receiver, I mean. Next is be clear and concise. As what I have said earlier, may mga times, I mean, na hindi lang yung ating co-worker yung makakatanggap ng documents, but as well as the people outside our company. For example, again, the press releases. So it is not really necessary to use highfalutin words or as much as possible once we start or once we write something or once we write a document, you should avoid fluff and unnecessary words. Okay, you should focus on delivering one idea per sentence. For example, I'll provide an example. Instead of saying as a result, you can actually say because. Di ba, may mga tao kasi na parang they don't want to read a lot of words in a sentence kasi it's just making it, uh, I mean, if there are people na parang ayaw yung mga flowery words kasi it's just making the thought longer, but you can actually just provide a short, clear, and concise sentence. Kasi parang may pasikot-sikot ka pa when instead you can just use a word to describe it, right? Uh, when writing a document, I want you to not to don't aim to impress. You should be straightforward once you write. Wag tayo gumamit ng mga flowery words unless you're a creative writer or nagsusulat ka ng book or like stories. If you're writing stories, it's a different discussion, right? But when we're talking about business writing, I want you to be straightforward. Do not include unnecessary wording or phrases. And each company, yes, we have jargons na ginagamit. May mga terms tayo na tayo lang nakakaintindi, I mean. And if we write something para sa coworkers natin or para sa bosses natin, then we can use those jargons. But if we write na makakakita yung ibang tao, like for example, outside the company, then it's really important na hindi tayo gagamit ng jargons na hindi nila maiintindihan, right? Now, down to, the next one. Proofread multiple times. May mga times, di ba, pagka nag-represent tayo or, for example, may presentation tayo like 10 minutes from now, we usually try to polish everything first before performing. And we can actually do the same sa writing. In business writing, you can actually do the same. Same lang siya when we are doing a project sa ating school. Pagka si ma'am or si prof may pinapasulat reflection paper after an activity or any kinds of writing, we proofread multiple times. It became a habit. Personally, for me, it became a habit kasi may mga parts pala na hindi ganun ka-clear. And once I read it ng paulit-ulit, I can notice some grammar issues, yung mga ganon, may mga typos. So, yeah, it needs, again kasi our document needs to be clear. So once we read or once we proofread our document or our writing for multiple times, kahit magsawa ka nakakabasa, kasi as time goes by, pagka binabasa mo siya ng tuloy-tuloy, may mga mapapansin pa rin talaga tayo na, oh, mali, oh my gosh, mali. Tapos, what if na-send mo na? So, it's really difficult, no? Again, I want you to proofread multiple times. Check grammar errors, check your typos, baka meron, baka yung pangalan mo, instead na dapat sa boss mo isasend, baka sa sarili mo isasend, yung pangalan mo yung nakalagay, o baka sa crush mo ilalagay. Huwag po. Itigil po natin yun. Sharing lang po. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, proofread everything. Make sure na tama yung information na nakalagay. Make sure na tama yung dates or yung details na dapat nakalagay sa document mo. Next, we have to maintain a formal and respectful tone. Again, yung sinabi ko earlier, we have to be mindful of our tone. Kasi most of the time, of course, we will be talking to our bosses. Then, we have to be respectful. We have to be formal and professional sa ating writing. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi lang tayo nag-focus kung how we respond verbally sa ating, or in person, yeah, sa ating mga boss or even sa ating coworkers, but there is still a behavior sa ating writing. As much as possible, you might want to add a personal touch while maintaining professionalism sa iyong writing and sa iyong language. Again, do not aim to impress. Stop using highfalutin words kasi hindi naman, honestly, hindi naman lahat talaga nakakaintindi ng mga words na kaya natin intindihin. There are words na siguro maintindihan nila, but it's not, siguro hindi ko nire-recommend na gumamit tayo ng words na even us, we're still using thesaurus, yeah, thesaurus when we are trying to use a different word for something, yeah. Para to replace that word, we use thesaurus. Parang ano kaya mas magandang term na gagamitin para wow, ang ganda tignan, para ang ganda sa pandinig pagka ito yung gagamitin ko ng word, right? So, do not aim to impress, just be straightforward to your writing and do not include unnecessary phrases, unnecessary wording, and most importantly, I want you to tailor a tone that suits the recipient. Gusto ko, I mean, grabe naman si Utos. I recommend you to tailor the tone that suit the recipient. Dapat if pagka kay coworker, then you can be less formal kasi you will be sending that out to your coworker. What if katabi mo lang siya? Then if you guys are only sending personal or even just a little, parang mga minimal lang na mga documents if you want to send to your coworker, then it can be less formal actually. But what if you will be sending a document or you'll be sending a letter to your boss? Then you have to be professional and respectful. But what if, Ma'am Sai, close kami ng boss ko, ganito kami, BFF kami for life? Paano? Should I be more formal pa rin? Or dapat ba maging pagdibo ako, ganon? No po, it is not necessary again to be ganun ka deep yung ating vocabulary na gagamitin. It is not necessarily magiging pabibo, please, let's stop that. But if ganun naman kayo ka-close ng employer mo, then be it. And you should still maintain. You see, you should still maintain professionalism. I am so sorry na bubulol. The professionalism say between you two. Kasi still, you're still at work, nag-work kayo, may business kayong inaatupag, uh, nasa corporate world kayo, then you still have to be respectful. Or then, if ganun talaga kayo close, then you can bond outside the office or kahit sa office mo na nag-chika kayo, then chika lang kayo. But in terms of writing, we still have to be uh, formal. Yeah. And of course, avoid negative, sarcastic, or emotional language. And as much as possible, read your message aloud first. Pero wag naman tayo sumigaw. This letter is no po. I do not recommend that one. But again, proofread your letter or proofread your writing before sending it to your recipient. Are we good, guys? Kindly send the hearts sa ating comment section kahit hindi ko kayo nakikita, but it's okay. Makikita ko kayo later. Now, I have here an example. Since wala naman po since I don't have someone to read this for me or to read this for everybody, then I will read it for you guys. Now, let's check this one. Assume that this is an email or a message to your coworker or to your coworkers, or even to your employers. Let's include na lang. Enclosed herewith is the agenda for our forthcoming team meeting. Kindly pursue the outlined topics and ensure thorough preparation for the upcoming team meeting to facilitate discussions on your progress updates and any challenges encountered. Ano po yung napapansin natin dito? You're right. Parang ang daming mga words na hindi masyado aligned or I mean, hindi naman siya sa hindi aligned, but mga words na hindi dapat siguro gagamitin because it's too deep. If ever ako, student ako, if ever ako, isang karaniwang audience lamang outside the company, or even I am that coworker, siguro parang, oh, this is too much, right? How let's highlight the words used here. Ang daming highfalutin words na ginagamit. It includes unnecessary wording or phrases, but let's see the next one here. Let's read this one, okay? First, sending the agenda for today's team meeting. Read the outlined topics and prepare to update the team on your task progress and any challenges encountered. See, it's more straightforward. Mas straightforward siya, mas clear siya, mas concise siya kasi uh, yung tone niya is very professional actually, and uh, the writer used simple words. Hindi ganun ka deep like the previous one. If you compare the two, this one is more understandable. I hope you guys get me, but this is what I meant when I say be clear, concise, be straightforward. Do not include unnecessary wording or phrases para mas maintindihan, para mas madali maintindihan. And it all makes sense sa example na to, right? Okay. Now, I think that ends my presentation. Uh, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess that ends my presentation, but I just want to leave a quote first from Mark Sandburn. I think hindi siya nasali sa PowerPoint ko. I am so sorry. In teamwork, silence isn't golden. It's deadly. In business writing context, this means that failing to express ideas clearly can create confusion and can weaken collaboration. So what I mean is, business writing is really important because it allows the people inside the company communicate with each other clearly, communicate with each other effectively, at mas naiintindihan natin yung isa if we communicate rather than being silent, right? So yeah, I guess that ends my presentation. For If you guys are willing to apply to our company, we have you can visit any of our recruitment offices. We have at VXI Makati, VXI Panorama Quezon City, VXI Bridgetown, VXI Clark, VXI MOA, VXI Davao Delta, Centrale, SMECAland, Robinson Cybergate, Davao Finance Center, and you can also visit our website at www.jobs180.com/pxi. Thank you again, CCA. Thank you, Miss Joyce, for having us again. That's again, my name is Sai, and yeah, that ends my presentation. If you guys have questions, please comment your questions below so that we can answer it as much as we can. Thank you po.
All right. So thank you so much, Ms. Sai. And again, thank you for discussing
Bye.
effective business writing. And to our audience, if you have questions, any questions, feel free to type them in the comment section. And maybe please ask the students to refrain from commenting any unnecessary ayan, messages po sa ating comment
Hala.
section. Ayan, the comment section is for your question. So if you have questions for the speakers, ayan, please post it in the comment section. And again, please refrain from posting or ayan, ng mga unnecessary comments. May mga emojis kung ano-ano. Ayan, thank you so much po. So while waiting for questions, Miss Sai, I'll be asking
Mhm.
siguro two questions since we are time
Oh,
bound.
sure, sure. Mhm.
We really apologize for that. And my first question is, how has technology po changed the way business writing is done? And what tools do you recommend for improving writing efficiency and effectiveness?
Mm. Actually, it's siguro all of us sa corporate world, we can actually attest to the fact na grabe ang effect ng technology sa atin. Siguro if ever we write something, we use MS Word. Mhm. That's really useful, no? In terms of siguro the presentations, we use all the Microsoft tools actually for everything, even Excel, every presentations, even for letters or documents. But yeah, that's actually one of my recommendations in terms of writing a document. But kasi na-mentioned earlier about AI, and I really believe that a lot of us, I mean, some of you are actually using AI. Siguro, for example, magpa-prompt tayo, write me an email for my blah, blah, blah. Write me an email for my blah, blah, blah. Um, I just want to also emphasize that AI is there to assist us. And you can actually use those too, kasi AI itself is a tool. It is a tool. We can also use it if we are in terms of business writing. Because again, it's an assistance. But just a reminder: do not copy paste it. Since it is just an assistance, kung ano yung nakikita natin dun sa AI or sa binigay or sinuggest ni AI, just look from it, then create your own. Bale, yun yung magiging basis mo, then create your own. So yeah, I guess that's it for my answer. I answered your question, Miss Joyce.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po. Another follow-up question po. Aside from AI, we also do have yung mga digital communication platforms now po, no? So, nagkalat.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you discuss po the role of this digital communication platforms such as email or instant messaging and business writing?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. What do you want me to discuss first? I mean to tell you about.
The role of
Can you
digital
clarify? Ah,
communication
okay.
platforms.
Role. Kala ko rule. Yung role. Yeah, it gives convenience. It's actually more convenient to use these tools kasi siguro sa isang company pagka hindi na natin kailangan, "Hoy, kunin mo na 'to. Hoy, nasaan yung papel ko? Nasaan na yun? Nasaan na?" We can email it. We can send it now. Like, hindi na tayo, "Hoy, ma'am, nasaan na yung email ko?" Wala na. We can send it easily. Mas madali yung process natin ngayon, and even yung resume natin. For example, yung kay Sir Keith earlier, you can send
Mm-hmm.
it in a link. You can present your resume in a link. And sa atin din, we can send our document in a link. For example, Gdocs or Google Docs. We can also send our presentations in a link. For example, using the platform Canva. Marami siyang naging effect sa atin. Mas naging convenient yung buhay natin. Hindi na tayo magulo. Hindi na tayo nagsisigawan sa office kahit nasa magkabilang office na hindi ka natatakbo para kumuha ng document para magsigawan na nasa na yung document, okay na lahat. And we can also store our files safely sa ating sa ating drives. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Seiryl. And so
Thank you, Ms.
dami na pong tools, AI tools, or
Yes.
digital platforms that we can use para mapadali ang everyday talaga pa araw-araw na
Mm-mm.
buhay natin, mga employee, ayan, workers,
Yeah.
but then, of course, in moderation, kasi, ayan, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi we have to set boundaries also in using
Mm-mm.
this tools. And so,
Mm-mm.
thank you so much, Ms. Cyril.
Thank
As
you,
much
Miss
as again,
Joyce.
I'd like to ask questions pa po. We are time
Mm-hmm.
bound and we still have two speakers left. Thank you so much, Ms. Cyril. We have gained and learned a lot po from this topic. So,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Miss
much, Ms. Cyril.
Joyce. Thank you,
Thank
Jobs
you.
180.
Thank you, ma'am. See you on our next set of
Thank
webinars.
you.
Thank you po. All right. So to our audience, again, if you have questions, feel free to type them in the comment section. Ayan, medyo nahuli yung question ni Sir Mergas. Don't worry, sir. Meron pa tayong dalawang speaker. I'll ask it po sa ating next speaker. So let me introduce our next speaker who will talk about excuse me, the new era of work. So our next presenter has been in the industry for more than 10 years, handling different facets of HR. She started with outbound sourcing, then moved to end-to-end recruitment processing to facilities and employee relations to talent marketing, and now handling university partnerships and linkages. So the senior associate, talent attraction and talent acquisition, earns and Young Global Services Philippines. All right. Miss Mariel December Palomares. Hi, Miss Yel. Good afternoon.
Hi, Miss Joyce. Good afternoon.
Basta, ma'am. Ayan.
Ganda
Magalang
ng ngiti
naman
ni
tayo.
Miss Joyce, ah. Mukhang nakapapahinga-pahinga tayo ng whole week, ah.
Sana, ma'am, kayo rin po. Ayan. And
Okay.
syempre natin audience. So, thank you, ma'am, again for ayan, join sa aming webinar. And if you can share your screen now. And
Okay.
thank you so much po. So, let me put the presentation up. Ayan, so it's up. So if you're ready, Michelle, I'll leave it to it. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Michelle.
much,
Good
Miss
luck.
Joyce. Thanks. Okay. So, if I heard Miss Joyce correctly, down to two more speakers. I hope I still have your full attention, because based on the time, we only have 20 minutes to discuss this and another 10 minutes for your Q&A. So, first off, before we continue with the topic, which is the new era of work. So, again, I'm Yel from EYGDS, or Ernst& Young Global Delivery Services Philippines, part of the campus team, to discuss this afternoon how you adapt, or how you can adapt to the new environment. Okay, but before we go to that, please allow me to share this short video to give you a glimpse, or at least a sneak peek, on who EY is.
Wondering how you can become your best at any stage of your career? Start here. At EYGDS Philippines, we begin with a strong foundation to equip you with the right mindset, skills, and leading-edge technology to pursue the career of your choice.
As a former intern, I wanted to work where I would learn a lot while figuring out my career path, and later pursue that path I decide on.
Then provide continuing education and a global community for countless opportunities to find your place and maximize your potential.
It's a challenging work environment that helps me gain additional qualifications, continuously teaches me skills, and gives me a chance to figure the challenges out. It's like a gateway to super diverse and inclusive network of like-minded people, lots of opportunities to work and collaborate with people internationally.
EYGDS Philippines supports your personal and professional development at every stage with flexible work arrangements that best suit you.
You tend to think about the more important things. I appreciate the stability and the package and benefits that EYGDS Philippines provides, especially while raising a family. Working from home and spending time safe from the commute with my loved ones is very rewarding.
To build a better workplace, EYGDS Philippines strives to build a better working world. Our legacy is to share our greatest knowledge resource, our people.
You ask yourself, how do I give back to something that has given me so much? My answer? Teach. I owe my success to my mentor, and the best way to say thank you is to pay that legacy forward.
At EYGDS Philippines, we provide tools to build your career, life, and legacy. The exceptional EY experience. It's yours to build.
Okay, so I hope you're able to check that video out. So moving forward to our topics, increased adoption of hybrid work models. We're gonna touch on this, but all of these topics, it might seem a little lengthy on your end, but we'll just breeze through this since again, we only have 20 minutes, and right now we're down to our last 17 minutes. So next will be advancements in virtual collaboration, focus on employee well-being and mental health, AI and automation in remote work, enhanced cybersecurity measures, flexible work schedules, remote work policies and compliance, data protection and privacy policies, employee conduct and productivity standards. We'll also talk a little about performance management and evaluation, expanding the global talent pool, and last but not least, sustainable and eco-friendly remote work practices. So let's start with increased adoption of hybrid work models. Okay, so of course, right now, so way back during COVID or the peak of COVID, all of us are working from home. You guys, I believe, is studying from the comforts of your home as well, of course, for security and safety, and because of the what do you call this, effects of COVID if you're going to report on site, right? So, but slowly after 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, maximum 3 years, companies, even schools, tried to use or make or maximize the hybrid work arrangement. So hybrid meaning there are some days you're going to report on site, some days you're going to work from home. Like right now in EY, we're currently and still on a hybrid work setup when we are required to report on site twice a week. Okay, so there. So some, though there are a lot of companies right now who are already fully working on site, but still there are companies like EY and other companies out there who believes or who at least um, test or evaluated that the hybrid model works for them in the sense that it fosters in-person collaboration and team cohesion at the same time, at least maintains or have a high work-life balance in terms of remote work, and of course there's a reduced commute time for the employees, right? Okay, so that is another thing that you can expect if you're graduating this, I'm not sure, June or July for you guys. Okay, and of course our advancements in virtual collaboration. So besides the current status that there are still companies out there in a full work from home setup or in a hybrid setup. So another thing that you can expect are there are companies like EY, for example, or for instance, that uses AI powered project management tools. Okay, so like the speakers a while ago inform you, I believe you already touched a little about AI, of starting from someone who asks her Kim about, the resume link and the use of if it will be like an edge in terms of screening, right? I saw that question a while ago for for recruitment purposes. Okay, so if there will be an edge, and so at least you are already aware that their AI is really rampant nowadays, and it helps as long as you use it correctly, like the previous speaker, or like what the previous speaker told you guys, and I will reiterate that it is out there to help us or assist us. But still, of course, at the end of the day, it will be you will finalize the actual project or email or whatever that is that you will be sending. Okay, but of course, you need to expect that there will be continuous advancements in virtual collaboration. Okay, so another thing is there will still be the presence, a continuous presence of like projects which are focused on well-being and mental health. Okay, you need to also expect that in the coming years, or at least the moment that you try to look for a job once you graduate. Okay, so companies already include that in their benefit packages. There are, besides, of course, there are mental health apps that are freely available once you download it in app stores or what have you. But there are also wellness programs, like again, in EY, we have specific budgets for that, for wellness programs per team on an annual basis. So, but again, you need to make sure that the company that you'll be part of has a focus on that, in a sense that they have tools to manage stress and make sure that you'll maintain a healthy work-life balance. Okay, you can check that out once you sign your job offer with them. If you can also ask your recruiters what are the steps that the company took or continuously taking in terms of improving or maintaining, if ever that is more applicable, mental health and well-being of their employees. Okay, AI and automation in remote work will also be there, but of course this time around, perhaps 2, 3, or 5 years from now, it will be an enhanced type of AI and automation already. And I'm sure you guys are very much aware, because most of you are very active in social media, I suppose, right? So there are already machine learning algorithms out there. Data is always available. That's why there's already a peak or a high demand with data science and data analytics. Okay, because this data will also be used, of course, to further automate or help us in terms of our day-to-day task. And because of that, there will be an enhanced cybersecurity need, or there's a high demand as well in cybersecurity. Actually, right now in EY, we're hiring cybersecurity associates, but the last stretch will be by, if I'm not mistaken, they will be already starting this April. Okay, I'm not sure if previous batches will be by May or June, but of course there will, because there will cybersecurity associates will help us in terms of, they will be our first line of defense, right? So you guys are already familiar with multi-factor authentication. Even social media platforms already use this. But of course, this is not enough. Okay, because there will always be people there who will be taking advantage of the power of data, or the availability of data, and how crucial it is for us nowadays. So not just password theft or hacking, but there are a lot of risk out there that might compromise not just social media accounts, but even bank accounts or your finances, right? So that's another thing that you need to be um, aware of in terms of trends nowadays, in the future as well, right? So another thing is flexible work schedules will still be there. Okay, there will still be companies who value this. Same with hybrid setup. Nicel, I'm sorry, we're confused. Isn't that the same? The hybrid setup and the flexible work schedule, or is it the same, or somehow the same? The difference is that when we say hybrid, let's say in EY, it's twice a week reporting on site. So 3 days will you be working from home. Flexible is like in EY as well. We don't have, most of us, not all of us though, but most of us as a flexible work schedule. For example, on my end, if I have an event as early as 9 a.m., I can. Um, report or log in at as early as 8 or 9, or if I don't have so much activities in the morning, I can log in as late as 10. For lunch breaks, we don't have like a fixed 12 noon lunch break. If I don't want to take my lunch yet by 12, I want to take my lunch break at around 1 or 2 p.m. That's the time that is perfect for me. Then that's fine as well. Okay, so that's how we do flexible work schedule. So it depends on your day-to-day activity and whichever the employee choose in terms of work arrangement. And of course, at the end of the day, we have our goals, we have our targets and deadlines that we need to make sure that we'll be able to adhere to. Okay, so that's a difference. And remote work policies and compliance. So since remote work is still there, of course, there will be stricter or improved policies and compliance. Of course, to help not just the company but the employee as well. Okay, so data protection and privacy policies will always be there, even in schools right now. They're heavy on privacy policies, right? Employee conduct and productivity standards will also be enhanced. You need to also be aware of legal and regulatory compliances once you're already part of a company, right? And performance management and evaluation. So these are the things that you need to be aware of once you're part of a company already. So check this out. You need to review it. You need to read through it accordingly so that you are aware, especially in terms of legal and regulatory compliance. Okay. So another thing is most companies right now are expanding their global talent pool. Okay, so especially companies like us in EY, we are actually one of the big four accounting firms worldwide, wherein we have different sites across the globe. So of course, there will always be a rise in our global or in the need of EY to produce global talent pool. Okay, so despite geographical barriers, of course, we are our organization with the help of AI, virtual, remote, flexible, and all those arrangements. This helps us, of course, expand and enhance our productivity, right? With the help of innovation and a culturally rich workplace. Okay, so as you checked the video a while ago, right? If you noticed, we're not just like 100% are not just let's say not all are Filipinos. We work with our counterparts in India, in Australia, in Japan. Okay, so that's why don't be surprised if you're going to apply to some companies, especially companies who are present in the international market, that they will be checking or they're quite strict in a sense um, i- on checking your English communication skills. Okay, so that's the reason behind that. Not just we're too picky or um, too out there or things like that. But we need to, of course, make sure that you guys can communicate well in English to avoid gaps and to be able to, of course, convey your thoughts well. If you're working side by side with other representatives of the company that you'll be part of in different parts of the world. Okay, so I'm sure you guys already aware with tools that helps us like Teams and other, let's say Zoom and other apps out there that helps us collaborate with other employees around the world. Okay, so but on top of that, of course, we need to make sure that everything is sustainable and eco-friendly. So reducing our carbon footprint will always be there. Energy efficient home offices, digital tools, and paperless workflows like us in EY as much as possible. Of course, we try our best to be paperless. Okay, so if you notice a while ago with the video, our office is is composed of like a huge area with empty tables, and our employees are issued their laptops day one of their employment, or at least within the week of their employment. So all of us have our own company laptop and headsets provided by EY so that we can work and be efficient even if we're working from home And in terms of paperless, we also have our SharePoint, OneDrives, and all of the things that we need. Okay, so also sustainable office supplies and equipment. I'm not sure if you catch that during the video. It's a little fast, but we make sure, of course, that if you're going to report on site, we have a proper lighting. We have equipments like, for example, tables that you can adjust in terms of height, right? And other practices that we make sure helps us be efficient, but at the same time reduce carbon emissions, and at the same time sustainable is one of our goals, right? So again, here in EY, we try to build a better working world. So with your help in the future, once you graduate, you'll be part of the team. I hope you'll help us out to build as well the future with confidence. Okay, so with that being said, so for our employment applications, do check out our jobs opportunities via our Jobs 180 account, jobs180.com/EYGDS, or you can even send your resume link at campus recruitment page at gds.ey.com. So as you can see, there's a QR code on the upper right hand side of your screen. You can also scan that. It will land to our Facebook page. You can check that out so that you can see or familiarize yourself in the EY culture. So how will it be like on a day-to-day basis when you're working with us in EY? We have two sites, by the way, one in McKinley West in BGC in Taguig and another in Cebu. And since you're currently located in Pampanga, so of course, if you're going to apply in EY, your reporting site or mother site will be in McKinley West in BGC in Taguig. Okay. So thank you so much, and we'll be opening the floors for any of your questions or any clarifications. Back to you, Miss Joyce.
Thank you so much, Miss Yel. Ramdam na ramdam ko yung paspas ni Miss Yel. Thank you, ma'am, for discussing the new era of work topic. So, to our audience, we are now again opening the floor for questions. So, guys, ayan, so, post your questions in the comment section. Wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Ayan. So, nag-comment na rin si Sir JC. Meron daw kayong direct to the card. Wow! Points, direct to the card. Ayun, yun yung uno nyo magiging 5. Ayan. And syempre gagraduate na kayo, no? So baka lang you have questions, 'di ba, in mind na nahihiya kayong i-ask. So this is
Kailan
the
graduation pala nila, Miss, if ever, June or July? Miss Joyce?
if yes, ma'am, naglalaro sa May, June, July po ang
Okay.
graduation. So halo-halo. Ayan. So again, and so to our audience, please comment your questions. So while waiting for questions, Miss Yel, ako na po muna ang magtatanong. Pero meron tayong nakapending na question kanina. So tanungin ko muna si Miss Yel para
Yes.
makabreno. Ayan. So for my first question, Miss Yel, again, so pasensya na po. How is technology driving the new era of work, and what do you think are the benefits po and challenges of these changes?
Okay, so let's start with the first question. How did if I got you correctly, how is the technology driving the future of
New
work,
era.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
New year of work. Okay. So same with what the previous speaker said and Sir Kim. So the good thing about technology is perhaps one thing that I want to remind the students out there is ang technology hindi natin siya kalaban. Okay, so don't feel like you're going to lose jobs, or we're going to, have difficult time finding a job because AI is already here, and AI can do much more than we can do. That's just one. Eh, na nag-timer na siya, Miss Joyce. so so I just want to give you at least, an idea. AI is there to help us. So it's driving our future in a sense that the AI is there to help us do mundane task, or task that
Mhm.
is repetitive, task that is for you kind of siguro boring for some, ordinary, very routinary. So to simplify things, so that you can focus on task that needs more analysis, needs more human touch in a way, right? So that's the power of technology. So yun ang inaalis niya sa atin. So those tasks that, and at the same time, it creates faster results, right? So if before you're doing this task for an entire day, now you can do it for an hour or less. Okay,
Mm.
so I saw that in one of the applications that we use in the office. So I remember being part of a different company back then, doing that certain task. That task was assigned to me by my previous boss on a different company. So this task, it took me, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 5 days, if not a week, to be able to submit the certain document. Okay, sorry, I cannot share the actual task because of course, data privacy, guys. So there, because of that, but upon checking this tool that's already online, what they did was just kasi what I did was use the computer, use combination of PowerPoint and Word and Excel, different apps to be able to summarize and submit that. And then nowadays, I saw this tool. What they did was just write their thoughts in the whiteboard, draw it, and then after they brainstorm, after they write, draw, and everything, they captured the photo, and then automatically the tool transformed it into a data that is already in the PC. So parang, wait, parang 1 week ko ginawa yun, parang 5 10 years ago. Parang nangyaring pinicturean lang and then yun na yun. 'Di ba parang 'di ba? So, yun yung power nung technology na I hope you guys, deal with it in such a way na positive, that this is used, this is there, this was invented for us, or for us to be able to be more efficient, more time bound, and at the same time be, siguro expand our capacity na hindi lang puro routinary task, or minsan 'di ba you're tired na you encode or you type or anything like that that will take you like roughly how many hours or days. So technology helps us drive forward or the future in a sense that it will be more fruitful or more efficient on our end. So, yun. Insightful, mga ganyan.
Mm, and we're holding on to that
Yun
positive.
lang mismo yun talaga yung nag-stick sa mind ko eh. May in-attendan ako isa kasing orientation. Parang, wait, paano nangyari? Paano yan 1 week ko ginawa yun tapos hinimay-himay ko tapos puwede na pala ngayon gano'n na picture. Tapos pagka-transfer onting edit-edit na lang tapos na. 'Di ba parang hindi man lang umabot sa isang oras yung 1 week na ginagawa ko. So it's amazing how we can do that nowadays, and I'm sure eventually it will be better pa on the day side, on the years ahead. So,
Correct, ma'am.
and
And
then you
yun
have
nga,
another question, Miss Joyce, that I wasn't able to catch.
parang I think that's the question already, Miss Yeah.
Okay.
Um, tama ba? The benefits lang po and the challenges of these changes lang. Yun. But since
Ayun.
you mentioned naman na yun. And as of now, mas marami pa naman talaga tayong benefits na nakukuha. And sabi ko nga po, we're holding on
Yes.
to the positive, ayan, or the
True.
advantages na we get from these technologies po. No? So, let's hope and pray lang na talagang for the good ang lahat ng technology and
Mhm.
upgrades na meron tayo today. So, thank you so much, Miss Yel, for answering my question. So we have question here. So up ko lang po. Unahin mo natin si Sir Mergas. Ayan. So from Sir Mergas, random question lang, Miss Yel. What are the tips you can give when writing an effective minutes of meeting? Oh,
Okay. So, I'm not sure if this will work for you, but this works for me. Okay. So, what I do when I'm writing minutes of the meeting is first off, of course, yung standard format naman yan is date, time, location, if it's online or on-site, attendees, minsan what my usual challenge is if I forgot the designation of the attendee, so you need to make sure that you got that as well. And then afterwards, what I do is group them, right? So for example, we have a meeting. So I'm not sure if it's Rosella, Roquela, or I said Miss or Mergas, or what's your name. So let's say the three of us with Miss Joyce. We have a quick meeting. So I'll put it in the body of the what to call this, the minutes, is I'll group it like these are the things that Miss Joyce discussed. These are the things that I discussed. These are the highlights only, okay, not in paragraph form, bullets. That's what I do. And then if it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Let's say Rosella or Rosella discuss this. So points by highlights. And then afterwards, I also indicate key ask or ano ba yung pending, ano ba, may utang ka ba na task, may utang ka ba kailangang i-submit na discuss there. So make sure that it's indicated there in a separate part. So key ask, tapos kung sino yung naka-assign or kung sino yung expected na mag-deliver. So for example, my ask with Miss Joyce is that she submit, for example, the itinerary for tomorrow's travel, and then the key ask is their itinerary, yun yung Kias, and then yung POC, Miss Joyce. And then next part is kailan ba yung target. So, if it's tomorrow, tomorrow, kailangan kasi definite din eh. So, don't just put in as much as possible, as much as you can avoid. Don't just put in ASAP. Okay, kasi ASAP for you might be 2 to 3 days. ASAP for me might be within the day. So, make sure that you indicate the at least estimated if it's maximum of April 23 or April 24 para all the people who attended the meeting can go back to the notes and see, deadline ko na pala ito. Ito pala yung utang last time or ito pala yung concern last time. So, ito yung action point natin. Okay? So, everyone can go back to the document and those who weren't able to attend the meeting, they can also use that as reference na ito yung napag-usapan nila. So, oh, I noticed, correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't able to touch this topic kasi wala dito. So, I also want to interject na we need to discuss this, okay, etc., etc. So, yun lang yung nag-work sa akin. So, I hope I was able to help you out with that question. Just make sure kasi at the end of the day, ano ba yung goal ng meeting? So, for it to be effective, yung minutes is it should deliver the summary of what had transpired, the expectation, and then the results of the meeting right after, and all the necessary. If there are files that was shared and you have a copy of files, then just put it as an attachment.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle. And to add lang, we also have digital note takers na din, so you can download any app. So, tapos attach mo lang siya or papasukan mo siya doon sa meeting link. Ayan, so if it's ano din virtual or digital kasi it won't work naman. Pero may nababasa na rin ako or na-watch din ako na kahit hindi pumasok yung I mean yung digital note taker mo, lapag mo lang siya sa tabi habang nagmi-meeting ka, digital and virtually. Ayan, so tina-transcribe niya na yung meeting. So gano'n na
True.
talaga. Kagaling yung technology natin. So thank you so
Yun,
much,
actually,
Michelle.
Miss Joyce, yun yung advantage, right, Miss Joyce? So, ayan, papasok na naman yung help ng
Mhm.
AI. Si AI, ang help niya sa inyo is they can record and transcribe the meeting. But the
Mhm.
person who will summarize it and do the bullets and try to analyze what is missing, try to analyze what's the intended result of that is ikaw. Okay? So, that's how we work hand in hand.
Correct po. Ayan. So thank you so much, Michelle. So we have another question from Miss Venice. What advice would you give to fresh graduates who are entering this transformed workforce for the first time?
Wow, that's a good question. Thank you, Venice. Kapag advice talagang hahaba tayo niyan, Miss Joyce, eh. Siguro I'll try to
Sure, ma'am. We are
ah,
still waiting for Sir Pao to enter the backstage.
okay.
So,
On
ano
top
po,
of my head
answer
siguro.
yan na
Sige, on
question.
top of my head, first thing, wait, fresh or entering dashboard. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you're versatile. Okay? So why? Because changes are really every now and then there are developments, there are sabi ko nga sabi nyo nga like you're concerned technologies. Okay, so you need to make sure that you can adapt. Okay, adaptability is crucial nowadays, and at the same time you need to make sure to do your research. Okay, why? Because you need to make sure that you want to be a part or your vision or your goal, your personal beliefs is aligned with the company that you'll be part of, and check their culture. Okay, especially for fresh graduates, right? Check their culture. It's very easy for you nowadays to check that. They have companies right now have their own social media pages. You can just check on that, or you can use other tools out there that has like reviews of new employees. Ano ba yung na-experience nila, first hand experience nila on the first few months in the company. Okay, so that you know that you're fit for that job, for the role, and also you're fit in a sense that when you go to that company, you are aware of their culture, you're open to that culture, and you can adapt and you're comfortable to be part of a company like that. Okay, so because for example, I'll give you a for instance. Okay, so for instance in EY, our culture kasi since most of our employees are auditors, tax associates, tech associates. So when they report to the office, we are required by not just by the office but by the building as well to at least have a business casual or wear business casual attire. You were not allowed to wear, for example, shorts, slip-ons. Okay, so if you're not the person, because not all people are comfortable wearing long sleeves and a tie, or a short sleeves polo, or for ladies like slacks or whatnot. Even if it's as simple as that, because sometimes it's simple for us, but it's a major or deciding factor for some. They want a very relaxed workplace, then it might not be for you. Okay, if you're the type of person who is more comfortable or who feels more productive, if you're assigned in a certain cubicle and then the following day you'll have your own cubicle, your own cabinet, your own desk that it's really yours, then um, offices like for example on us wherein you're free to move, everyone is just moving and there's no fixed area, then it might not be for you, right? So you need to make sure of that. Okay, so and at the same time, there also you need to check with your recruiters, or you can ask them to describe, or so that you'll know what to expect in the first 3 months, because that's crucial for fresh graduates. First 3 months of your employment in the company. Okay, why first 3 months? Because that's the time that you're still adjusting, not just the company culture, but the culture of your team where you will be assigned to, right? Your leads, your co-workers, your buddies. If we call them buddies. If there's someone within your team that will be like your partner. So they will be the one guiding you. Also, ito kami sa team namin. Here's what we do on a daily basis. Morning ganto, afternoon ganto, evening ganto. So at least you'll be guided accordingly. Okay, so I'm sure you are quite anxious because this will be your first time working, but as long as you'll be part of a company who has that option, like guidance and all, training and all, then I'm sure you'll enjoy rather than you'll be stressed. You'll be excited rather than anxious.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss El. Ayan. So I hope and we hope, ayan, Miss Venice, we answered. Miss Yel answered your questions. Yun. Guys, mag-ask pa kayo ng questions. Ayan. We're still waiting po for other questions to come in. And so if you have questions pa, feel free to post your questions in the comment section. And I have here pa, Miss Yel, question pa po. Another question is, what do you think is the future of remote work, and how can organizations support remote workers effectively?
Oh, well, because again, not speaking for all of the companies out there, but there,
Mhm.
as I've noticed on a personal level, there are more and more companies who are actually trying to go back to
Mhm.
the purely on-site work. That's just what I
Mhm.
noticed. Okay.
Mhm.
So there are only few who are still doing remote work or hybrid setup or even pure work from home. Perhaps they notice that they are more productive if it's a mixture of on-site and at home work. So but but for future of remote work, I cannot guarantee that it will still be available 5, 10, 15 years from now. But hopefully for hybrid setup, it will still be there. so that there will be work-life balance at the same time. So for me, what I can suggest is not to keep your hopes up and try to research or try to look for companies who are really into purely remote work. Okay, because nowadays they also saw some challenges in a pure work from home setup. So they've noticed that people also need personal engagements, right? And it's really different if you have like a personal touch, or you can see your bond with your colleagues or your teammates, even if it's just once a month or once a week, right? Rather than zero what do you call this, zero face-to-face meetings with them. Okay, so I do understand that it's really you can save time, you can save finances in terms of traveling, but again, not speaking for EY, but speaking just for myself, okay, my own opinion. Even for me, I'm more efficient, or it's more effective for me to at least see or report to work, even if it's just once a week or once in 2 weeks, right? So and when I see and ang weird kasi if you keep on emailing or chatting, doing let's say video calls and all, it's really different when once you see them in person. Parang iba yung comfort. I'm not sure if it's also the same with you guys, but for me it's a little different when oh, ikaw pala yung email ko, ay ikaw pala yung chat ko. Then there somehow I feel that the connection strengthens a bit with the personal touch. So there. So but if you're into 100% remote work, if you think you're more efficient with that, then no worries. Just as long as you need to really check on companies who are into 100% remote work and seeing their vision, like they have their vision 10, 15, 20 years from now, that they still stick with the remote work. I believe companies post naman their visions in their website. So there, or check their company culture at the same time.
And I
So
agree,
I
Miss
hope that
Yelda.
helps.
Iba yung bond, iba yung relationship with your coworkers kapag nakita mo na sila and may times na nag-on-site kayo. Kasi iba din yung iba yung immerse ka doon sa trabaho and
Mm-hmm.
sa company culture kapag na-try mong mag-on-site, 'di ba? Or mag-work talaga personally doon sa mga katrabaho mo. Ayan. So, thank you so much, Miss. Ay, one last question na lang, ma'am.
Go
Kalimutan
ahead.
ko po.
For sure. No worries.
Yung sige kong question. Ma'am, what advice can you give to workers who are looking to upskill or reskill for the new year of work?
Okay. If you want to upskill or reskill, even prior to you being part of the company,
Mhm.
first and foremost, I want to congratulate you for having that mindset. That's a good mindset. Keep that up. But there are a lot of ways to do that. If you're going to use social media platforms to that certain aspect, I believe there are a lot of materials out there. You just need to be really picky on who to watch or who you'll be following in terms of whether if it's a streaming site or an article or a podcast even that you want to follow. But if you're open to upskilling or skilling once you're part of a company, then look for a company that values that. Okay, so shameless plug again. So for EY, we really value upskilling when you're part of the team. So we've partnered with Udemy, Coursera, GoFluent. So those are the platforms that we have. We even partnered with Halt International Business School. So we give out free MBAs. It's a triple accredited university. And all of the modules there are all free. Even the intermediate modules there are all free as long as you're already an employee of EY. So if you're into courses like that, whether if it's work related or you just want to learn more about, or you want to learn Japanese or Korean or photography, or want to improve your small business on the side, everything there is free. So if you're into that, then you can be part of our team. Or if you're going to want to upskill even prior to you looking for a job, then I believe yun nga lang, there are some kasi that requires payment. Okay, but for free courses, there are a lot of online courses out there. You just need to make sure to triple check if it's a legitimate site, and if it will not hack your devices. Okay, so but again, due to the availability of resources right now, vast, unlimited options, you just need to make sure to scrutinize everything. And perhaps if you have friends who are already finished a certain course using this link or using this, um, let's say, what they call this, using this tool, then you can ask them, because at least they already have first-hand experience. They already have their what they call this, certificates, right? If you want to be a Six Sigma person, then go ahead, your white belt or whatnot. So you can, everything is online. You just need to make sure that you'll be partnering or you'll be enrolling in a course wherein you'll not be, short-handed in a sense if you're going to pay for it. And as well as you need to make sure that you read on the reviews, check it out. And there, because if you want to have or attend a free session, there are also websites. But as much as I want to promote those websites here, you can just search it online. There are some, but again, you need to be very mindful because some use the sites to get your data and hack your accounts. Okay, so there.
Alright, so thank you so much, Miss Yel. Ayan guys, niyayaya na kayo ni Miss Yel na mag-apply. Lapit lang naman yung Pampanga sa
Oh,
NCR.
oh guys, libre yun. Udemy, Coursera, libre lahat yun. Bahala ka kung kada isang araw, 1,000 yung gusto mong aralin, all yours. Yun nga lang, you need to be an employee to be able to
Ayan,
access
oh, 'di
it.
ba? Sayang 'yun, sayang 'yun. So, bahala kayo 'di ba, palay na yung lumalapit. Ay, tama ba? Palay na yung
Yes,
lumalapit
tama,
sa
Miss
manok.
Joyce. Tutukain na lang.
Nalito na nasa init yan. So, thank you so much, Miss Yel, again for joining us today, for sharing us your time and of course your expertise for today's webinar. And of course, we are looking forward to having you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much, Miss Yel. Ma'am, do you have
Thanks, everyone.
um,
Mm.
final message po to our graduating students?
Oh, final message. Okay. So perhaps my final message will be, um, don't be too anxious. Okay, you're more prepared than you think you are. That's why Jobs 180 is here. You know what I love about Jobs 180 is you can also review their previous webinars. They have a lot of things there, a lot of content, resume writing, interview tips, how to dress, everything is already there. You just need to have time to review it, watch it, and another good thing about it is that speakers that they get talaga is first hand. So kayo mismo, alam nyo, may tips na agad kayo, may insider tips na kayo agad, since most of the speakers are from talent acquisition, and for those who really do the interviews and all, and the resume screening and all. And again, with City Colleges of Angeles guidance to you, to all of you, I'm sure you're well equipped already to be part of which and whatever industry that you want to be part of. You just need to believe that you can, and you're halfway there. Thank you,
All
Miss
right.
Joyce.
So, thank you so much once again, Miss Yel. So, see you po sa ating susunod na webinar. Baka nga
Thanks,
bukas
everyone.
lang nandiyan na ulit si Miss
Yes,
Yel.
actually, bukas. Thanks, Miss
Ayun,
Joyce.
sabi ko.
Nag-plug lang. Yes,
Thank
bukas.
you,
Thanks,
Miss Yel.
everyone.
Thank you,
Happy
ma'am.
afternoon. Bye.
All right. So thank you so much once again, Ms. Yel of EYGDS. And to our audience, again, if you have questions and you are interested to know more about EYGDS, you may check the link. Ayan yung nagra-run sa ilalim ng inyong screen. So the link is www.chops180.com/EYGDS. So let's move on to our next topic for today. And let me present our last presenter. So our last presenter is Ferdad, to a 2-year-old Frenchy wanderer, and he has six excuse me, years of experience in talent acquisition and people management. So the Senior Supervisor, Talent Acquisition from TTEC, Mr. Paulo Gutierrez. Hi, Sir Pao. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, everyone.
Ayan. So hello, good afternoon, Sir Pao. And if you're ready, you may share your screen, sir.
Yes, hang on. Share
Wala po
screen.
tayong artistang speaker ngayon. Si Sir Pao lang po ito, ha? Ayan.
Ay,
So,
grabe.
kung may questions po kayo, ayan. So, paki-comment lang ang ating questions. Sir, ayan. So, while waiting, and let me put it up. Ayan. So, it's up, Sir Pao. So, if you're ready, leave it to it. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Sir Pao.
All right, so thank you, Jobs 180, for having us today. So again, my name is Paulo, and what I'll be presenting is the importance of communication. So we'll be talking about effective communication skills. So, my agenda for today is to do a quick introduction about myself, and then we'll go directly into our topic, which is the importance of communication, followed by types of communication, effective communications, and then we'll plug the job opportunities that we have here in TTEC. Okay, so again, my name is Pau. That's actually my nickname. I'm the talent acquisition manager for our site in Pampanga. And under my belt, I have 6 years of work experience under recruitment, talent acquisition, and people management. Okay. All right. So let's start first with the importance of communication. So first on the list here is to enhance understanding and clarity. So effective communication helps ensure that the messages are clearly delivered and accurately understood. Okay, so it reduces the chances of confusion, misunderstanding, and errors, especially when we deal with complex tasks or sensitive topics. Okay, so clear communication allows us individuals to align their expectations and goals to lead to more efficient problem solving and decision making. So this is a very important life skill that you as young professionals should be equipped with right off the bat. Though some people might not have it innately among themselves, but it's something that you can hone through time and practice. Next is to foster collaboration and teamwork. Okay, so for this one, strong communications is the foundation of collaboration. I think we can all agree to that. And it also enables, team members to share their ideas, provide feedback, and coordinate efforts towards a common goal. So once you start, being part of an organization, being part of a team works towards a common goal. And for that to be successful, you need to have a collaborative and teamwork type of understanding through communication. Okay. Next is improve interpersonal relationships. Okay. So open and respectful communication helps build strong positive relationships, okay, whether it's personal or professional. So it allows individuals to express themselves, understand others perspectives, and resolve conflicts constructively. Okay, good communications foster empathy, what else, mutual respect, and I believe trust, okay, which are essential for long lasting and meaningful connections. Fourth is to enhance your professional development. So, communication skills are essential, if not the most essential, for your career growth, okay? No matter what kind of industry or line of job you're in, it is the foundation of how you will be dealing with your teammates and coworkers. So being able to articulate thoughts clearly, okay, give and receive feedback as well, and present your ideas confidently can set professional apart. Effective communicators are often seen, as um, high performers or leaders. Okay, they are the ones who strive to go about and solve problems, and it makes them more likely, to earn opportunities for advancement, or even mentorship, for greater possibilities. Okay, let me go to my next slide. Okay. So here are the three types of communication. So you have your verbal, your nonverbal, and your written communication. So for verbal, it involves the use of spoken words, how you convey your messages. It also includes face-to-face conversations, whether it's via phone call or video meeting, as long as you're basically, phone patched to another person. Okay, it can also touch on when you do your speeches or do presentations. So overall, tone, pitch, and pace of speech all play in a role in how the message is going to be received. Okay, so verbal communication is powerful for immediate feedback, clarification, and emotional connection. Next, so we have nonverbal communication. So for this one, okay, nonverbal communication refers to the messages we send without speaking. Okay, so this includes your body language, your facial expression, your gestures. Okay, your posture, eye contact, and even silence. Okay, so all these things, without saying a single thing, can speak volumes when used properly. Okay, so nonverbal cues can reinforce, okay, or contradict what's being said verbally, often revealing true feelings and intentions. Okay, so for example, you're nodding to show agreement. If say you're avoiding eye contact, it may signal that you're being dishonest or you're at discomfort. For example, smiling, okay, to show friendliness or approval, and then folded arms, which could suggest defensiveness. Okay, so these are nonverbal communication. Last is written communication. So for written communication, we've done this in school, and this is very much still gonna be around. Once you start your professional journey. So it involves transmitting messages through written symbols. Okay, whether it be via letters, emails, reports, memos. For marketing people out there, social media posts, and even chat messages. Okay, so it is essential for documentation. Okay, formal communication, and instances where clarity and precision are critical. Okay, so written communication is often more permanent and can be referenced to later. Okay, so example would be business emails, project proposals, yeah, company memos, and text messages and chats. Okay. All right. Moving down to, okay, let's try to dig further with verbal communications. Okay. So for verbal communications, as I've said, okay, it is the use of spoken words. Okay. Um, First application is face-to-face conversations. So this is the most personal and interactive form of verbal communication because it allows for real-time dialogue, okay, and the inclusion of non-verbal cues such as facial expressions and body language, okay, which help enhance the understanding between two parties. Okay, an example of which is one-on-one meetings, casual discussions, or team huddles. Next is phone conversation. So phone calls, okay, enable people to communicate verbally even when they're not physically present. Okay, in this day and age, I know majority of our meetings are done virtually, such as this one. Okay, although visual cues are could be absent, could be not. Okay, tone of voice, okay, plays a crucial role in conveying emotions and intent. Okay, an example of which is, say, for example, you have a client overseas. Um, so it's going to be, a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting. Next would be follow ups with your team or even remote check ins if you're managing a team yourself. Okay. Third is online communication. This could be voice or video. So platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, or voice chats in apps allow the real-time verbal exchanges, often supplemented by video for added context. So it combines accessibility of remote communication with the benefit of visual interaction. And then lastly, okay, would be public speaking. So public speaking involves addressing a group of people, okay, with a prepared or spontaneous speech, okay. It requires clarity, confidence, and effective delivery, okay. Public speaking is a key skill, okay, in leadership, education, and advocacy. Okay, for example, presentations, motivational speeches, or even training sessions. Okay, as long as you're directing your speech to a large crowd. Okay, next would be non-verbal communication. So, refresher, non-verbal communication involves transmitting messages without the use of words. So, number one is body language. So, this includes your posture. Okay, are you hunched? Are you hunched? Do you have your back straightened? Your gestures. Those things can reveal, how you feel at that moment, and it also can be used to even amplify what you're trying to deliver. Okay, it can reveal confidence, nervousness, openness, or defensiveness. So be very careful or be very wary of how you do your body language. Okay, an example would be, say, for example, you're standing tall. Okay, well, that shows confidence. Slouching might indicate disinterest. Okay, or being guarded. Next is facial expression. Okay, so facial expression are powerful indicators of emotions such as happiness, anger, surprise, all of the emotions. They're often universal and instinctive. Okay, so even if you're conversing or if you're communicating with someone from a different nationality, our facial expressions are often than not universal. So they would get what you're feeling at the moment or what you are feeling on what they're trying to say. Okay. Next is vocal tone. So for vocal tone, okay, this is sometimes referred to as paralanguage. Okay, this refers to how something is said rather than what is said. It includes, the pitch, the volume, the pace, and the emphasis. Okay, it can change the meaning of the words. Let me think of an example. Uh, for example, the phrase "I'm fine." Okay, it could be said like "I'm fine." Okay, which is flat, or could be sarcastic instead of "I'm fine." Okay, which would imply that you're really okay. Okay, so be very particular with how you deliver such phrases so that you won't be construed or misunderstood, basically. Next would be haptics. Okay, so for haptics, this refers to communication through touch. Okay, it can express support, affection, um, authority, and formality. Okay, so depending on the context and culture, of course. Okay, so for example, a firm handshake conveys that you are confident and that you are a professional. Um, Whereas, say for example, you're patting someone on the back, okay, which may show encouragement. Okay, so those haptics, okay, can deliver or convey different types of meanings. And then lastly, okay, we have the appearance. So the way someone presents themselves, okay, through clothing, grooming, and overall style sends nonverbal signals about your personality. Not only that, but could also convey, um, your professionalism, and your social awareness. So, for example, wearing a formal attire, okay, for an interview communicates seriousness and respect instead of, coming into your interview wearing flip flops and um, knee length shorts. That doesn't really um, give off or communicate that you are serious about the job application. Okay, so nonverbal communication often speaks louder than words. That's very important to remember. Okay, it's not just what we say, but how we say it and how we show it. Okay, that truly shapes our interactions. Uh, Next. Okay, so written communication. So I assume majority of you are already familiar, but just a quick refresher. Written communication is sometimes more um, professional because this is documented. Okay, so we have several examples of written communication. You have your emails, your SMS, your memos slash reports, your documents, and social media. So for emails, this is gonna be your go-to communications tool once you start working. Okay, um, people from uh, people from associate all the way to executive utilize email to convey and um, communicate with one another, no matter how big or small sometimes the concern is. So it's very important that we keep, we learn, okay, email etiquette off the bat so that, we can um, communicate effectively, okay, whoever we are sending our emails to. Next is SMS. Okay, so it's a fast way to communicate with someone, short and sweet. Okay, and then memos and reports. This is something that we do, say for example, on our PowerPoints, on our Google Sheets, what have you, which is used to convey, oftentimes productivity and reports of a project. Okay. Next would be documents. Okay. Usually this is what we use for legal matters. Okay. And then social media, often used for amplifying or marketing um, our activities and events inside the organization. Okay. So that is written communication. And then let's move to effective communication. Okay. All right. So for effective communication, I have five for you guys. First is active listening. So what is active listening? Active listening is when you converse, okay, and you listen attentively to the um things that the other person is saying. Okay, active listening pertains to how well you grasp the ideas and the message that is being conveyed by the person that you're conveying with. Okay. Next is empathy. Empathy shows that you are in the conversation. Okay. And that you're willing to have an open, a two-way conversation with that person. Next is clarity. For clarity, you want to ensure that your message is coming across, okay, the way that you intended it to. Okay, remember when I spoke about how it's not what you say, but how you deliver it. That goes very much well with how you utilize clarity in effective communication. Next is assertiveness. Okay. So there are instances that you need to be assertive. Communications aren't that simple at times. Sometimes you need to be assertive in what you're trying to say, depending also on who you're conversing with. So you need to have a baseline of assertiveness, depending on the type of conversation you have. And then lastly, feedback. Okay. So as someone who is continuously learning and honing communications being a skill, okay, you need to be open to feedback. You can get feedback from people who just witnessed your presentation, for example, or someone who received your email and found some inconsistencies with how you've written it. So be very receptive to feedback because that's the only way that you can evolve and further develop, okay, how you communicate overall. All right. Okay, so I think that was the last slide for my topic, but now let me just quickly give you guys, an invite on some opportunities that we have here in TTEC Pampanga. So we're always hiring for customer service representatives. I know Angeles is only 30 minutes away from our site, which is in TTEC SM City, Pampanga, okay, in San Fernando. Um, we are hiring all the way till May, last week of May, I believe, and we have classes starting week on week. So you are very much welcome. Okay, we do not require any work experience. Okay, beginners or starters are all very much welcome to apply. Educatainment wise, high school graduates is okay to apply as well. Okay. What's in it for you? So we have more than 10,000 free courses and learning modules that you can take advantage of, which could also touch on effective communication. We have a lot of those. We also offer mentorship programs, okay, using our internal promotion platform, okay. So you get to experience professional conversations about career development with people that does it actually for a living, okay. Next is HMO coverage for the employee and your dependents after 30 days. Okay. Next is HMO coverage for um sorry next is educational assistance program. So if, say for example, you want to go back to school or you want to pursue further studies, then TTEC will be very much happy to assist you with your expenses. Okay. Next is employee counseling program. So this is not actually just for the employee, but this can be extended to even your family members. Okay, as another benefit because counseling programs is only as important. Okay, as HMO coverage. Okay, and then lastly, just want to plug our site where you can find all the openings, whether it's associates, whether it's back office. We have a lot of that. You can visit ttechjobs.com for all of those openings. That's it for my slides. Thank you.
Right. So thank you so much, Sir Pao, for discussing assertive communication. And to our audience, again, we are now opening the floor for questions. So Sir Pao is our last speaker for today. Ayan, baka nahihiya pa rin kayo. Pero if you have questions, if you do have questions, guys, feel free to type your questions in the comment section. So while waiting for questions, I'll be asking a few questions, sir, since we are time bound and it's already
Yes, yes.
4 p.m. Apologies for that. Ayan, pumasok. Thank you so much, Sir Charles. Ayan, dininig mo ang aming panalangin. Ayan. So, the question, sir, is how can fresh grads practice assertive communication in interviews or when negotiating job offers?
That's a good question, Charles. Actually, being assertive, during a job interview, even for fresh grads, is very much welcome, okay, by recruiters. We appreciate when a candidate asks questions because it shows that they are really interested and they want to learn more about what they're getting themselves into. It's a two-way street, actually. All interviews naman are like that. So even as fresh grads, feel empowered, okay, to ask questions. Most importantly, know the right questions to ask, okay. Do your research about the job, about the company, and then from there, draw, at least five questions that you have at best, okay, that you feel like is essential for you to come up with um, a decision if you're really seeing yourself in this position. And when negotiating job offers, yeah, that can also be, something that you can bring up to your recruiter during an interview, or to the hiring manager during the interview. And I am pretty confident that they will answer your question, Aman.
Ayan, so naka-mute po. So thank you so much, Sir Pao, for answering that question. And we hope, Sir Charles, na na-answer ni Sir Pao ang iyong question. So while waiting for other questions, I have here one question, Sir Pao.
Mm.
Are there situations where assertive communication may not be the most effective approach? And if so, what alternatives might be more suitable?
Well, in my experience, assertive communication is often welcomed by people that I work with. So probably it depends on the people that you're conversing with or you're around. Because some people might, you know, need to uh rephrase, okay, soften it a little bit, especially when you're asking something so strongly or something very important, and you might um caught people off guard at times, so try to feel the room, okay, read the room. If that's something that you can go ahead and point blank ask the question in your head, or you need to adjust the tone a little bit, just so you can have that sense of respect still, okay, during the conversation.
All right. So copy. Thank you so much, sir. One last question, sir. So can you recommend any resources, of course, for our viewers then, especially for our graduating students and fresh job seekers, first time job seekers? Can you recommend any resources or exercises for practicing assertive communication?
Mm-hmm. um There is, well, I think this is available online, but I saw this TED Talk by Carmine Gallo. You can probably watch that. Talk like TED, Talk like TED. I think it's available on YouTube. It's great for improving, public speaking and presentation skills. Also try to read how to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, try also podcasts. Um, there's this good one, The Public Speaker's Quick and Dirty Tips. It's bite-sized tips on professional and everyday communication. YouTube channels, TEDx talks, definitely worth checking out that one. And then for online courses, LinkedIn Learning, Communications Foundations are good as well. It's great for professionals. It covers verbal and nonverbal communication.
And I think we'll have to. Sorry,
Application.
sir. You can continue,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
I thought you're ano pa done.
I don't know. Grammarly? I
Mm-hmm.
used to use Grammarly before, pero not so much anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're starting off, yeah, Grammarly is a good application to download.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. And yung just babagitin ko sana is, I think we have to check out also those recommendations kasi si Cardi B lang daw ang kilala, kilala namin.
Cardi B.
Ayan, so thank you so much. Ayan, may mapapasok tayong questions. Kayo guys, kung kailan tayo patapos ha. Ayan, so question from Miss Venice, sir, if you're still up to answering questions. So the question is, how do you assertively say no to tasks without sounding unwilling or uncooperative?
I think that's a tricky one. How can you say no without sounding unwilling or uncooperative? Probably best to find kasi it boundaries to how you negotiate na eh, right? So are you saying no to a task just because you don't want to do it at all, or is it because the timelines doesn't really make sense to you, or it's too abrupt. Okay, if you're gonna say no. Okay, try to give a recommendation. Like, say for example, I can't do this by the end of the day, but I can give this to you by XXX time within the week. Does
Hmm.
that sound fair? Something like that. Because you can't just say no to a task flat out and then not provide any, recommendation on how you can deal with it. Yep.
Oh. Oh, Joyce, deadline to tomorrow. No.
Ayun.
Hindi, hindi pa.
Oo.
Sorry, no. Tapos
Di
boss
naman
yun.
puwede gano'n.
We have
Not
to
unless
share.
your boss is your mom, gano'n.
Yes, yes, yes. And of course, if, 'di ba, siguro tignan din natin yung timeline. If it's impossible to set the deadline talaga, siguro we can ask for an extension, pero we cannot say no.
Mhm.
Or no doon sa deadline na binibigay, sa impossible deadline. Ayan. So
Correct.
thank you so much, Sir Pao, for answering all our questions. And yun na po. I think we don't have any questions na po. And since we are again time bound and it's already 4:10, thank you so much, Sir Pao, for answering all the questions. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your knowledge for today's webinar. And of course, we look forward to having you in our next set of webinars. Thank you, Sir Pao.
Thank you. Thank you, miss. Thank you, team.
Thank you, Sir Pao. Ayan, so to our audience, if you guys are interested in joining TTEC or you'd like to know more about TTEC, you may visit www.jobs180.com, TTEC Jobs. Again, so the link is www.jobs180.com/TTEC Jobs. Yung mga link po na nag-run sa inyong screen, you may check those links, guys. Or you may visit our website. It's www.jobs180.com. So there you have it, folks. We've covered all the topics slated for today's session, and I must admit, if this is my first time attending a webinars like this, I'd find this incredibly beneficial for job hunting, especially for first-time job seekers. And to our audience, big thank you, guys, for joining us. Wow, bumalik yung number kanina. Nag-aabang ata ng evaluation. And we trust you found this webinar. Dami kong segue, no? Pero thank you so much for staying until the very end. And we trust you found this webinar to be informative. And we hope the insights you've gained will prove valuable on your path to entering the workforce. And your presence and eagerness to learn are greatly appreciated. Here's to hoping you enjoyed the session. So again, if you have additional questions, please do not hesitate to send us a message on our Facebook page or facebook.com/jobs180, or you may email us at info@jobs180.com. So to officially close our program, may we ask again the head of internalization and linkages office and alumni affairs and student placement office, Mr. JC Manansala, to give us the closing remarks.
Thank you so much for joining us today for Marketing Me Live. On behalf of City College of Angeles and our partner Jobs 180, we hope today's session gave you practical insights and a confidence to boost to start marketing you, yourself, your story, your potential. Remember, standing out doesn't mean being the loudest in the room. It means being the clearest about who you are and what you bring to the table. And just like in high potential, sometimes it takes seeing yourself and your path from a different perspective to unlock the next big step. So keep writing your story with purpose, speak with confidence, and don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Create it, claim it, live it. We look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Until then, stay inspired, keep showing the world your best self. Maraming salamat and see you again soon.
All right. So thank you once again, Sir JC Manansala, for entrusting us with this webinar. And to our audience, to secure your final attendance and help us improve, we kindly request that you evaluate this event. The link is displayed on your screen. And you can also scan the QR code or find it in the comment section. Again, this will be the final attendance po for today's webinar. So kindly evaluate this event. So the link is displayed on your screen, or you may also scan the QR code or find it in the comment section. It's in the comment section, guys. And after this session, i-close din po natin agad yung form. Ayan, para kung sino lang yun na dito, ay sila lang yung save for attendance. And of course, we want to express our heartfelt appreciation again to our speakers from VXI, TTEC, EYGDS. Thank you so much po for today's webinar. And of course, to CCA, City College of Angeles, especially to Sir JC Manansala for entrusting us with your events. Maraming salamat po. And again, we look forward to more events with CCA. For updates and announcements, guys, please don't forget to follow our Facebook page. We eagerly await your participation in our future sessions. And in case you missed today's event, you may catch the recorded version on our Facebook and YouTube pages. So thank you once again for attending and staying with us until the very end. And before you go, you may also scan the link for webinar e-certificate. So if you wish to have one, so kindly click the link. It's also in the comment section, or scan the QR code. This is for the webinar e-certificate. So yan, kung hanapan po kayo ni Sir JC later ng inyong proof of attendance participation certificate, so kindly scan the QR code or find it in the comment section. So with that, we conclude today's program. This is your host, Joyce Katukutan Kola, signing off. Until the next time, ingat, stay hydrated. Sobrang ingat, guys. Ay, sobrang ingat, sobrang init. Mag-ingat po kayo and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
College of Angeles, you inculcate faith in ourselves, testament to our undying will, to earn wisdom of paramount quality. Hail our alma mater, our sanctuary. You always call us to seek excellence, yet beacon of humility and resilience. For hope's alive in us as our passion, to steward with kindness and compassion. Hail CCA, our shelter and protection. Hold fond memories in molding us as paragons of greatness. Never will forget in all times of glory to give thanks to God and to our community. LCCA, our beloved